good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to Nafi's North Facing Garden. Now, a while back in spring, I had a haul where I had purchased some hanging basket plants from a UK-based company to try some of the Supertunia series that I see commonly here from US gardeners. I was really keen to see how they performed, so I went ahead and ordered some for my hanging basket. So I linked that video, the initial unboxing video, somewhere in this video if you wanted to have another look. Now, it's a peak of quite late summer and some of the baskets are beginning to start to show signs of going over. So I thought I'll do a little update on how they've performed, so that if anyone out there wants to give it a try, you can I can be your guinea pig and you can go ahead and order. Right, the basket to my right is the one that I've got my Supertunia Vista bubblegum. And for a little bit of background, these baskets are actually situated on a north facing aspect, so they only get morning sun, which is barely 3 hours in a day. So bearing that in mind, this is a super performer. I have to say I'm really impressed. This has required minimal to no maintenance other than the usual hanging basket maintenance, which is daily watering, and in the period of heat, if we're having a heat wave, sometimes twice daily watering. And starting of these baskets had capsules of slow release fertilizer, which carry them quite far. But once the growth became more vigorous, I started to water with on every third watering I incorporated plant food to encourage flowering, and you can see there's actually more blooms and greens. And so the basket has performed really well. For scale, I started the picture on the low, you can see compared. So I'll say this is a win for me and something that I'll definitely recommend and I'll be repeating in the future. And the other thing you should note is that there were actually other plants there which were meant to be upright, verbena, geranium, and these have all been drowned by the Supertunia. So I would recommend not bothering with other plants, except probably the trailing ivy or things along that line. Creeping Jenny might be more impactful with their downward growth. Now I'll move over to the other basket, which is equally performed well. This is the Supertunia Vista Paradise. This, as you can tell, is less as vigorous as the Vista Bubblegum, but is equally a good performer, bearing in mind these get less than 6 hours of sun daily. There's more blooms and greens. Now here you can see some of the begonias that I ordered. This is the Begonia Chardonnay. Now these are mini cascading begonias. They are pretty, but they are not as big as some of the other begonias, and you can see some of my verbena there poking through. So this is similar to what should have happened over there, but the Vista bubblegum just drowned everything else. Now again, this has required same treatment, not much in the way of deadheading, and I'm really impressed with the growth and the performance over the season, and it's something that I will definitely be repeating. Now another caution for me, if you watched the original video, you would have realized that I actually ordered lots of plants, but sadly, because I was novice and we had this late frost, I was one of those keen gardeners whose plants got caught out, and I had no contingency. I don't have a greenhouse or anywhere that I could heat the plants. I kept going in and out of my kitchen with the plugs, but sadly a lot of them didn't make it and they were victims to our late frost. So bear in mind, if you're going to order these, they come as plugs and they will need a little bit of care until they are well established and able to survive should we have a late frost. Now this was one of the other of my planters, because I have a very bare fence which I'm planning to do something about, but in the meantime I thought I'll just break it by having some hanging baskets, and these are the ones that I put up in a video. I can link that as well in the Wilco tiny baskets. And this is the Supertunia Mango Madness, was one of the ones I had ordered. Now this is one that I really didn't enjoy. I'll tell you why. It's actually very beautiful and they've done really well considering the size of the basket. They've put up a good show. There's a begonia poking out in the back there. Right, these start off as a beautiful yellow, if I can find, yeah, there, and then they acquire a blush of pink, But then they have a very short life on the plant, rapidly just ages and shrivels. So deadheading to keep this basket tip top. Oh, that's beautiful. To keep the basket in tip-top performance requires a lot of deadheading. So this is not one for anyone who doesn't enjoy garden maintenance. For now, I don't bother too much, but I imagine if I go busier or like things got me away from the garden, I will come back and it will be a mess. So this mango madness is a pretty one. Just look at that. But I have to say it's one that requires regular deadheading. So if that's not your thing, I wouldn't recommend. It's quite pretty, but it requires deadheading because these blooms, you can see I done this yesterday and this morning again I'll have to repeat. So I don't know what it is, maybe the size of the basket or the fact that they're in full sun, because the single one that was sat with the supertunias on the north side barely aged. So maybe perhaps they don't like so much sun and they get more sun than the other ones over there. Now the last of the baskets is this beautiful one. This actually has superbells in it. There's the holy cow, there's a lilac and a purple, and I stuffed in some lobelias just for that. You know, lobelias have something about them when you look at from afar, you just see like twinkling stars. So I really like lobelias. They're really cute and jazz up things. So this is quite beautiful one. You can see that is a very beautiful pattern on this superbell holy cow, and then you have the purple and then the lilac. And if anyone knows anything about calibrachoas or mini bells as they're called, they require little to no care. In fact, they don't even like frequent watering. So I stagger the watering on these. I water them every other day and in a heat wave once in a day. And then the feed regimen I keep fairly same with all the baskets just for ease, but these have done well and they're very pretty. And yeah, I'm really happy with this. And another thing you should notice, these have a more compact growth. They have a compact growing habit. That's a petunia, so it's starting to trail. The other petunias also started to trail, but these keep them compact growth habit, and I'm really pleased with the performance overall. Some of the plants I lost, the scabiola, emula, I lost all of them. I'll just say it's worth bearing in mind if you order plugs. Just know that you might have to put them in 9 cm pots for some growth and see how you get on. But so with this, I've come to the end of my, actually you can see it's a gray cloudy day, but these baskets just brighten up my day. So with this, I've come to the end of an update on my plants from Kernock Park Plants, which is a UK based vendor that provides some and a whole lot of other plants, but they provide some of the Supertunia Provenus plants. You can check them out if you like, and thank you for watching. If you made it till the end, please like, comment, subscribe, consider sharing. If you've enjoyed my video, consider subscribing and see what happens in this don't facing garden of mine. Thank you.